Attack the enemy! Victory is ours!
Hey everybody, welcome back for another 30% 5-battle research booster video. This is with my Soviet 8.0 lineup. It was before I had finished the T-55A, and you'll see that I have another one coming up shortly. Actually, it'll come out later this week. This one was from July of 2017, and it took me forever to get this video edited and rendered and uploaded because Operation S.U.M.M.E.R came along, and I've just been working on doing that. That's pretty much taken up all my time, and this video was just long enough that I just didn't have a great time to finish it up. So I have finally got it finished. I'm out of first 10s to do for the moment, so got this one knocked out, and we'll be following it up in a couple days with another 8.3 lineup, 30% research booster, because my Soviets are what I had to research right now. So anyway, getting back to the video, you can see in the chat there, so Hodgkin's lymphoma is, I think, what the dude meant. But, yeah. So since he said Hopkins lymphoma, and Johns Hopkins University is one of the cancer treatment centers, one of the main cancer treatment centers in America, at least, one of the foremost ones for cancer research and stuff, I made the Johns Hopkins joke. So if anybody's wondering what all that was about, that's what it was. Anyway, back to the actual battle. So one of the things I really hate about this map is the tendency for the team on our side of the spawn to just sit up on those hills and just camp. Camp. And camp. And camp and camp until you lose. So most of the team, a good half of our team pushed initially, and you could see them in a good line with me. But half of our team just sat back up on the hills too, and they never ever moved out of there. Now I had two targets right in front of me there on the far side of A. Managed to get a hit on one of them. I couldn't tell what it was until I got the hit, and then I realized it's a Sturmpanzer. Hit him, scared him behind, he returned fire, and I shot and blew up the fuel tank that he's right next to, both to distract him a little bit and to make it harder for him to see. Plus, I knew with his reload time that even with the T-62's slightly less than optimal reload, I was going to have enough time to reload before he was going to get another shot off at me, so backed off behind the hill to take care of my reload and see if I could spot the RU-251 that fired at me, and you can see the Sturmpanzer came back out. He's peeking out again. Got a pretty good hit on him this time, started to fire, and it turns out he probably didn't have FPE. So got him on fire. I'm going to sit back and wait and watch, see what happens there. And he burns out, and then right after that, there's the RU-251 that shot at me, and I get a double strike real quick there, so worked out well enough. Now I'm hoping and trying to push up into the A point here and start the capture, but there's not a lot of help, really. I mean, right now we've got help out here, but you're going to see in a minute our team gets pretty devastated by the guys that are pushed forward get wiped out pretty well, and the guys that are up on the hill continue to sit up on the hill. But in the meantime, I'm watching for any targets up here. I pick up the radar of the spinning radar dome off of the top of the Flak Panzer I Gepard there.
Attention to the map! Repairing! Attention to the map!
So, decide to push over here and see if I can thin out, at least take out that Flak Panzer Gepard from the side. If he's got the APDS or APCR rounds that the Gepard gets, he can be pretty dangerous even to a T-62 from the side, so I don't want to leave him out there just wandering around while I'm pushing into the A point. So, let's see if I can't spot him over here. It's a relatively easy target to kill as well. Plus, I can just kind of circle around this side of the hill and then move right into A from there. So there's a pretty big fire going on there. Zoom in, pick up the Gepard, and right where that fire just happened, you can see there's a mouse there, and he is looking at me. So we're going to get engaged with him now. Unfortunately for me, and luckily for him, the mouse's reverse speed is pretty decent, and he was also halfway up a hill, so he was able to back down and get the heck out of Dodge before I could get a shot at him. You can see a couple more targets off there to the left firing. trying to get a sight picture on them and unable to do it from where I am. So pressing forward to get an advantage on that mouse if I can help it, and also trying to stay closer to A so I can move in and try to take A if that opportunity presents itself. And would have had a great shot at the mouse except for Soviet gun depression. Failed me. So trying to relocate and reposition myself to get a shot at the mouse there. So while we slowly push up across this riverbed here and try to get in a position where we can shoot at that mouse. Ordinarily, I would just ignore the mouse and just push in for the point, but I don't want him shooting that 128mm into my side over here either, so try to move up and at least disable his engine or his gunner or his loader or something. Pick up somebody firing rockets at me. Picked it up just a little bit too late. However, I lucked out and was able to get down under cover from this side of the road here where I could repair and not take any follow-up shots. Most of the time, if you take a missile on the side, you're going to have multiple missiles hit you before you can ever repair once your tracks get broken, so luckily I was able to get down out of his line of sight. Now you can see on the map there, not a lot of friendlies up with me. Out of the team we've got left, we've got 7 guys up there back at our spawn. And 2 of us, myself included, and another Vickers up there a little farther forward to the northeast. Push forward. That is not going to be enough to do it. Well, still trying to move forward on the mouse when I get popped in the back by a leopard because I've got no support up here. Now I know, yeah, sure, I should sit back and wait for the support to come, but the support was never coming in this battle. They never move off the cap. So, come back in the T-10M because it was a fast enough tank to get me back to the A point, and I'm going to make a run for the A point because I know there's nobody from the enemy team near A. Now there is actually a friendly T-10 moving up forward of me, and he's going to go to the B point at least and stop. So he did actually move out of the spawn, but you can see all of our guys here in the spawn, they're all just sitting there, not going anywhere, just waiting for those long-range sniper shots on the enemy team that somehow are going to turn the battle around, and they're not, because the enemy team's just going to drive into B and take it, and our guys can't stop them from here. This is one of those maps where you've got to move out of the spawn. So the Vickers in the northeast all the way over there has been destroyed, so he's no longer the farthest forward anymore. So there's myself and this T-10 here, and then another heavy off to the right moving up with us too. So based on that, I'm going to make a run straight on in and try to get in, go right to the A point here. Good work on the T-10 killing the STV there. And I'm going to take advantage of the T-10's mobility and try to make a run straight into A and disrupt the enemy team, and hopefully rally my team to move in and follow in after me and try to get in and help me capture A. Now you can see the one T-10 stayed at B, the other heavy that's in the south is moving alongside of me. And I'm at full speed, full power, 30 miles an hour, hauling ass in the T-10, trying to get into the A point. Watching out for the mouse or anything else that whatever the rocket panzer was that was shooting at me over there to the left. Don't see anybody along the hills there. And as we're rolling up to A, watching out for any more enemies. Bam! Shot in the back because nobody from the team is up there to support. Now this STB does take a follow-up shot pretty quickly, but after that, we'll fast forward to the end here where they've captured the A point away from us, our tickets bleed out extremely rapidly, and our guys never made a move to go and defend the A point, so a loss in the first battle. I did, however, at least get 3 kills, so it wasn't a total waste, but it wasn't great either. Now, as you can see, I have still pretty far to go in my research for the T-55A at this point, because like I said, this was 19 July when I actually recorded this, but... There's all the end battle results for Battle 1, and then we'll move on to Battle 2. So like normal on a domination map here, on this side of the map, I'm going to start and head for the A point because trying to climb this hill to the C point is not always a guarantee that you're going to make it there in time. And if your teammates don't wait, and if there's something light and fast like a BT-5 if you're the Soviets, or an M551 if you're the Americans, it's a very dicey prospect that you're going to make it up to the C point and actually be able to take part in the capture. Whereas the A point being on all flat terrain with pretty much hardened kind of road surfaces, you can generally make it. Assuming that the team doesn't drive in front of you. But you can still pretty much make it to the A point pretty easily here in just about any vehicle. The B point on the other side of the map is downhill from the spawn, so basically you can make it there in anything. You could still potentially not make it in a slow vehicle if you've got teammates and really fast ones that race ahead and don't wait for you. But it's a lot easier to take part in the B point capture from the other side spawn than it is in the C point capture from this side spawn, so that's why I normally go to the A point from here. Also, as you'll see, and as I have mentioned in other videos, there's a great little spot to drive up to coming from this direction right here. This shell depression right here, just inside the capture zone, is a great spot. Most tanks will fit inside of it, and you can get the capture. You're fairly protected by the wreck of that Sherman there, and you can almost see enemies even. So our team takes the C point while the enemy has captured the B point. We stop to take a bleed out, and I finish off the A point here in just a second. And move forward to start hunting down enemies. So I had a swing in my luck here as these 5 battles for this video went on. The battles got a lot better, and my luck got a lot better as they went, starting from start to finish. Did a lot better. Took a blind shot on that guy up there because he was firing at our T-62, couldn't tell where he was. Trying to support the teammate up there and figure out what the heck it was that was shooting at him. And then got hit from behind by a Leopard that was coming up the beach draw. Good shot for him, I guess. Unfortunate for me. Lucky for him, his Hesh went through the turret on the T-62 in the back, because I've had Hesh fail on that side before. Good for him, though, I guess. So, come back in the Object 906 and see if we can't speed up to A and get a revenge kill on that Leopard there. And he got taken out there by my random squad mate, so there was no revenge to be had. But now I'm going to try to catch up to my squad mate up there in his T10 and give him a little speed and support, and help him hopefully take the B point and then press the attack in and get the victory here. So you can see some AAA being hit over at the A point there, and I'm paying attention to that and trying to watch for him here as we drive by. Can't exactly see where he is. Here's some shooting going on up in front of me to the right, so I'm still kind of watching and listening in both directions at the same time. Watching to the left and listening to the right as I hear shooting going on. And I'm not sure what the shooting is. I know it's not my T10 squad mate there, but I can't tell if he's taking shots at him or if something else is going on. Back up here to see if I can't spot what the AAA is that's firing. And see that it was a Gepard, and he's now been destroyed by the Object 268 there, so I'm going to press forward and try to catch up with my T10 squad mate. You can hear an engine coming up from the right, but when I spawned or zoomed in here, my own engine noises kind of masked it a little bit. I can hear it in the replay, but in the actual gameplay video, I didn't quite pick up what it was. And of course, it's M60A1 shooting me in the back, setting me on fire, and doing a lot of damage and knocking out my gunner, and I'm pretty much screwed here. There's no way my turret is ever going to turn fast enough to get another follow-up shot on him. Even as he's driving up faster, there was just no way. So, unfortunately, that's the end of battle number 2. But like I said, the battles do get better as they go, so... Now that the first 2 disappointing battles are over, we can move on to some better activity going on for the rest of them. Did at least pull a capture here. It wasn't a very good battle, but still a capture, and still got 3,700 research towards the DVD-5A, so not a total waste, but obviously could have gone much better. But as for Battle 3, got another domination map here on Kuban. Can move up here pretty quickly in the T-62. I like the T-62's acceleration. It's pretty darn good. Doesn't feel to me at all as sluggish as the T-54 series. So I have really enjoyed having the T-62, even though its reload can sometimes seem a bit long. So I am, of course, pressing up as quickly as possible to take and or contest the A point. Deny it to the enemy, if not capture it myself. Made it up here easily enough without being shot at. Pull up over the hill, get a big hit into a Panther II right as a Tiger 105 had been destroyed half a second before right next to him. Now I know that Panther II is not a threat, so I'm going to sweep around, look for any other enemies, and obviously somebody just fired up above me to the left there. Looking on the minimap, there are no friendlies up there, and he gets another shot off, so I know he's somebody with a real fast reload, which with the Germans doesn't actually tell you anything. I'm watching, trying to see if he's going to pop forward enough to see where I can... Now nobody from the other team has killed anything up there. He takes another shot up there. And right as I'm trying to mark him on the map, finally, he had been spotted by the IS-6 behind me and taken out, and it was, in fact, an RU-251, so... That's one down from up there. We're holding the point now. Ticket bleed is going. We've knocked out a few enemies, taken a couple losses ourselves, but we're well in control of this battle so far. Right now, for me, it's just kind of a waiting game for any enemies to be revealed and spotted or shoot at me so I can return fire at them. While trying to stay a bit hidden behind here to keep control of the A point, just in case the team doesn't come up here and help me hold it. Although, as you can see, most of our human players in this battle were doing a real good job staying right near the A point. Although we did start losing, and I backed off so that we'd get a trigger on any enemies who moved into the A point, and as I moved forward to stop them from capping it, I got hit in the side by a Panther II. And that was that for my T-62. Pretty good shot by the Panther. So the enemy is now taking it. We just lost almost all of our team there very rapidly. So I'm going to come back to my Object 906 and see what I can do to stop them from holding the A point back. Our team got wiped off the A point in a big old hurry right there. And of course, naturally, as we come around the corner here to get back up towards the capture point, what should appear but an enemy tank trying to drive into our spawn. Now I lucked out here that all he did was destroy my driver, kill my driver, and I was able to get a follow-up shot into him. And as he pulled forward again, my reload was just faster than his. And I was able to finish that Panther II off, which was actually the Panther II that had killed me originally in my T-62. So I had a pair of kills there quickly, and as I'm waiting to get my driver back, here comes a Tiger II 105 up behind, up driving towards us. And I was able to hit him as well. Now, I thought initially I'd been team killed here when I saw it was an IL-2 that killed me. But it was actually one of the captured IL-2s, so it wasn't as bad as I initially thought. Still, though, 3 quick kills with the Object 906 isn't too bad of a drive out, although I never made it back to the A point. So I'm going to respawn in my ZSU-57 to try and hurry myself back up there and help the team out at A. We've got a little mini convoy of players heading back up to the A point, so that's good. And I'm going to try to get up there and join them and add in some rapid-fire firepower to support our advance back onto the point here. Our poor Katyusha. She got explodified. I don't think she even got any missiles off, which was too bad. Somebody tried to kill me there. They just barely missed. Some kind of airplane was coming in. I couldn't get a good sight picture on him. Thankfully, I made it away from his bombs. And two of the 4 vehicles there in that little convoy have been taken out, the heavy tank and the light rocket launcher. Our 2 T-44-100s are doing okay over here, but I still can't spot what is shooting at me. It wasn't the guy that was in sight there. Turns out it was an ME-410, as you'll see in a moment. As I come around the corner here, take a hit from that Panther II, get set on fire, lose my turret rotation, and then there's a Kugelblitz right behind him, and you're not going to survive a Panther II and a Kugelblitz in a damaged ZSU-57, pretty much ever. So, still not making it back to the A point, and can't even come back in a tank anymore, so see if I can come back and deliver a little bit of CAS for the team there and help their push for those 2 T-44-100s. Did at least get a kill assist with my ZSU-57, so I like the Sukhoi 6, but it seems sometimes like its turning ability is severely lacking. Disappointingly so. I don't have a whole lot of upgrades on it, so that could be part of it. But sometimes it gets a little frustrating with trying to get this thing to make an airstrike and then turn around for a rapid follow-up. All those rockets sure looked like they were on target to me, but no, nothing. Just a hit. And here's what I'm talking about. Trying to I'm in a max turn here. Maximum elevator, which in this case made the aircraft try to dip down to the left, and before I can even get lined back up on target, I get wiped out by the ME-410 behind me. And that's that for the Sukhoi 6. And that's that for battle number 3. Now, we still ended up losing the battle, but it still went a lot better for me there, so this was kind of the turning point, thankfully, for the video, where the battle started getting a lot better than the first couple. So there you can see the score. Like I said, a little better. Started out better than it ended, unfortunately. But Battle 4 was a lot better than Battle 3. Battle 5 was the best of all. But watch Battle 4, because this was pretty interesting. It's got a pretty funny ending to it. So a fairly typical Axis versus Allies lineup, which I kind of wish in the more modern era of War Thunder that you would see more all the nations against the Soviets, as in the Cold War. Or even possibly a split with the Germans and the Soviets sometimes, but also Germans and Americans and Japanese on, and British on the other side, to more reflect the Cold War with the split of Germany at the time, even though there isn't a German faction where you've got Soviet tanks, but still. So as we're rolling up to the A point here, most of the team is actually heading towards the A point, but if you look at the mini-map, all the way down in square D4, there's a couple of guys, I don't know, going off on safari or something. Not sure what they were doing. Now, as for those of us up here actually at the point, I like the way the team is arrayed. We've got one guy on each side off to cover the flanks a little bit, and I'm fine with that, and the bulk of the team is moving in towards the capture point. This is how it should be, especially on Conquest. Most everybody going in for the cap. And one or two people at most on each side out to cover the side so you don't get overwhelmed. Now this Leopard here gave me a heart attack for a moment until he crashes in the building and his turret is facing backwards, and I realize he's probably AFK and driving on cruise control, because his turret never turns and he never stops trying to drive. So pretty sure he was AFK here, which worked out for me, so I was able to take him out. My first kill, and then that lets us capture the A point as well. So we've captured the A point, and now I'm just gonna kind of sit here and hold it. I wished I hadn't gotten quite so many conquest battles during this video. They're a little bit more boring for 30% research booster kind of videos. I wish there would have been a little more domination or something like that, but it ended up working out. I took a pretty good hit there and lost most of my turret, but thankfully the IS-6 behind me actually reacted to both me getting shot at and the shot coming from the side, and he turns around and actually goes and deals with it, which I definitely appreciated, because I would have been probably toast otherwise. The amount of time that the repair and the crew swaps were taken here, I probably would not have been able to survive this if I didn't have help. So you can see right there, the IS-6 actually moved into position to go and react to the guy shooting at me, and actually didn't ignore what was going on the map, which I really appreciated. Now, whatever it was that shot me there apparently had decided to relocate and look for a better position to do something, so I also decided to relocate and see what I could do to help the team over here on this side, and also cover myself from return fire from the guy who shot me by putting a building in between us. Now, the IS-6 there, Mr. Kaib, had gone over to fight whatever it was that was shooting at me, and it was just on the other side of the hill from him, and since he helped me out and moved to cover me, I'm going to move over here and see if I can't also return the favor and help him out. And then he got it. It was a Panther II, so I was on my way to help him when he destroyed it, so give him a good game via chat, and then back up into the point to hold it, as my squad mate all the way up in the north had been destroyed. And then this guy down here, like, I don't know what that Vickers was trying to accomplish all the way down there in the south. but it wasn't really doing us any favors up here at the cap. However, I was able to get a very decent shot on that whirlwind there. But alas, his driver was able to get his crew, what remained of his crew, back out of danger and run away and hide. But I don't care because I did a severe damage to his turret crew there. Now you can see an enemy fire right up there in front. And I'm going to try to react and move into a position where I can return fire on him if he exposes himself again, where I can see him. And then he showed himself, sort of. At least enough for me to get his commander his cannon breach. Good enough. So for a moment I was a little bit confused at the chat there when he said there was a Type 62 there, as well as that Panther II, but it turns out what he meant was a Type 60, as you'll see, because of course the Type 62 is the Chinese light tank that's in the Soviet tree from the Chronicles of World War II event from Christmas and New Year's of 2016 to 2017. So there you can see the Type 60 that he was talking about, and I was able to get right up on him just as I reloaded and get a shot before he could turn his turret around onto me, thankfully. And then the S.U.M.M.E.R takes a just devastating hit from the Conqueror there, which I'm sure was a hull break, but got a kill on the Type 60 and an assist on the S.U.M.M.E.R within 2 seconds of each other. And still we've got guys all the way down in the south in the village, but I mean, at this point, whatever, we've got the capture point pretty well locked up here. Now there's another Panther II around somewhere that finally took out Mr. Kide, but it wasn't from the shot up here that I just saw, but I'm focused on this guy over here to the right. And it turns out that was probably also a Type 60, as our M551 made very short work of him. And then the Conqueror finishes off the Panther II that took out Mr. Kide. So now we're looking pretty good. It was a little sketchy for a minute there, but we're looking pretty healthy now, having dealt with all the threats that we knew of. So the enemy has got 2 players left, and I'm going to head over here and sit on the edge of this hill and try to watch and see any of them coming up to threaten the A point. Now this was still fairly early in my T62, not my Type 62. Got Type 62 on the brain now, I'm talking about it. And unfortunately, as you can see, I still do not have FPE. Now there's not any particular reason why I mentioned that or anything, it's just something to note that I still don't have FPE yet. As I get shot in the engine and set on fire by something behind me. Now, I don't know what it is that it hit me, but it's something that it set me on fire, and I'm the closest one to A, and I can't get there to do anything about it. Turns out it's a Panzer IIH, which actually made me laugh, because, well, that's funny. But unfortunately, without FPE, I cannot do anything about getting back to stopping him at the A point. And he didn't have actually enough tickets to get all the way back to A, and of course I get detonated by the fire about a half a second before we end up just winning by tickets. But that's why I said it was a funny ending, because I got killed by a Panzer IIH right at the very end. But good to him for the shot. Still though, a greatly improved battle. Very, very nearly survived all the way through the end. Just seconds away. But still a better battle than, and the team did better too, so it was not just better for me, but better overall with the entire team doing here. Much more well played to everyone. And then on to the 5th and final battle of the video. And this one is the crowning jewel of this video. Sometimes I wish the best battle happened first, so I could just tell you guys, yeah, the rest of these battles were crap, don't bother watching. And sometimes I'm happy when the best battle is the last one, because I'm like, okay, you guys gotta watch all the way through my videos, you gotta stick with me. But in this case, if you did stick with me here, this is the best battle out of all 5 of these, and it did go very well. Of course, it was yet another conquest. I just got conquest after conquest here. But got myself and Zach Tom here in his M48A1. Neither one of us stopped until we made it all the A point, and I was very happy that I had somebody else who went in straight in on the conquest point here at the start of the map instead of sitting back and letting the enemy team have it and then trying to take it back from them later. So, very exciting to have a team that actually pushed in with me and took the conquest point right off the start. It also did help somewhat that the German team stayed up in the valleys and cover up there on their side and just wanted to shoot missiles at our team, so that did help. Now I wanted to find a decent cover spot where I could sit just off the A point, be able to shoot anybody up in their camping spots up there to the north of us, but also be able to react to A. And I found a pretty good one right here, as you'll see. The sight picture is not 100%, but you've got a bit of cover from one side. I actually was able to sneak around this tree right here and not betray my position. I got kind of a bit of cover there, and this Rocket and Jagdpanzer, rather, gets highlighted. I'm able to put a good shot in him, and I'm pretty sure he J'd out. I don't think he burned out, but I think he realized he was stuck there and he was just going to keep getting shot, so he ended up J'ing out, and I got the kill credit for him. Now you can hear engines off to the left. It should be those 3 friendlies that are moving up. And my fellow capturer there, Zach Tom, just got taken out over to the right by one of the camping enemies up there in those hills. But I'm still in a very good position, and I think I'm pretty well covered from being sighted, even when I'm shooting here from where I am. There's not too many places where they should be able to see me from where they're all sitting. This is a pretty decent little hidey hole. You can't see everything, but you can see pretty well. And you can certainly see down into them moving in after the A point, as you can see as I look over here. This is probably the biggest benefit to this spot right here, is you've got pretty good sight picture down into them moving on the A point. So that's kind of where the biggest benefit of this spot is.
Somebody, cover me! Attention to the map!
Now I saw somebody move down there behind those rocks. I didn't have a good shot at him yet, but I want to make sure I let the team know. And then he comes out around, moving in on the A point, and I'm able to get a good shot into him, take out his crew, and finish him off before he made it to the A point, which was good because I got to stay in my spot and not have to go take the A point back. So I'm kind of just playing the wait and see game here. Wait for them to come down and press A, and this is the biggest benefit towards taking the capture point in a conquest map first, or taking the majority of capture points in domination map, is you can then sit back and wait for the other enemy team to try and come and take them back, and you can pick them off. The team on the defensive at a capture point that they already hold is generally going to have the big advantage, and that is a lot of the reason why I'm so aggressive when I play domination and break and conquest maps, because you have to. Took a little final quick check back to A here as I'm moving around this rock to move up and see if I can get a side assault onto the enemy positions here. Verify that there's nobody coming into A, and then decided most of our team was pretty far away from A at this point, so I'm going to head back and just stay there. My guys that are pressing over here to the left of me, they're fine. I don't have a problem with them. They're doing all right. But I'm going to sit back and let them press, and I'm going to sit back and play goalkeeper on A a little bit. Just make sure that the enemy isn't going to sneak around to the right where our guys can't see them and start taking the A point from us, in which case we're going to have some real problems. So I'm going to return back up to my spot here, which had not been compromised so far to my knowledge, and just hold on A. Plus, it's a pretty good spot. It was hard to leave. So we've definitely got enemy presence over near A. Not just that missile launch that just happened that's far to the east of where our team is, but there's also a player that had been marked over near A as well. So just in case I get destroyed while I'm trying to defend it, I need to make sure that the team knows that there is some sort of an enemy over near A. We've got at least one missile launcher to the north of A. And potentially some other type of vehicle too over there that I had seen marked. So we've got at least one, probably two, possibly more than that over near the A point. Our team isn't in a bad spot. The guys that are off to my west there are not in a bad position by any means, but they are not within line of sight of the capture point at all. So right now I'm the only one who's got line of sight on A, so I'm slightly concerned that if I get destroyed here, we're going to lose this battle, because I'll be the only one who can do anything about A. Now, I am pretty well hidden, but I just want to make sure somebody else comes back towards A. And actually, the team did come back with me. As you can see, they're all moving up the riverbed and heading back into the A point. So that was kind of nice. And there we go, enemy moving in. Missed the driver, unfortunately, on that Rocket Panzer Hot, but I did get his commander and do a little bit of damage to the inside of his tank and mark him for the team, and they were able to finish him off quickly with a T-10 shot before he was able to get into the A point and start decapping it as well. So we took them off the capture point at least twice right before they got into it and started breaking our cap on it. However, some follow-up shots took one out of our three guys out there. So we did take some losses back. However, the enemy team has been pretty well knocked down here, and we are the ones holding the extremely large ticket advantage. So now I'm going to press forward and move up on them so that the farther we push the line of battle beyond the capture point now, the harder it is going to be for them to get past us and start taking the point away from us. And we've pretty much got it held as long as we don't all drive right into their guns here and all get destroyed at the same time. And even if we do, then we've still got a huge ticket advantage to come back in after them and take the point back for ourselves. So that's why I'm pressing here. Just happened to drive very advantageous position for me, very disadvantageous position for that Leopard. Just happened to drive right into it and give him a little pop. And then I've got a fellow T-62 coming up here with me. Sorry to say Type 62 again. And then the enemy tickets bleed out, and that's it. Like I said, the best battle was the last one there. So, just knocked out of first place by a little bit of score there. Another 3-kill battle and an assist and a capture, and never died and just held the point the whole time. Pretty good research there towards the T-55A, which of course you guys know I've already got by now. If you haven't seen the first 10 on that, feel free to search it up on my channel. It's in my first 10 playlist if you want to find all my first 10s. And there it is. Pretty good score line there. And that will do it for today's video. So, hope you guys liked this one. If you enjoyed it or something you didn't like about it, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tell all your friends. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for stopping by and checking this one out. Have a great day.